All votes matter. The president is calling it election fraud. The left is calling him a fraud. Something new and different. And you know what? We've got the makings for what you might call one big hot mess. The reality is, half the country just isn't going to buy that Joe Biden won this presidency fair and square. While the other half thinks Biden's the second coming of Jesus Christ. But no matter what happens, I can promise you this: Joe Biden is not the son of God, and Donald Trump is not going away. Not for 1 minute. This is not done. It's not over till it's over, as they say. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trish Regan Show. I am Trish. You know, I'm not happy with this counting process. I really don't like what I see in the likes of Pennsylvania, especially in Philadelphia. I mean, in Pennsylvania, for goodness sakes, they've got a court that's okaying ballots even though they shouldn't have, that have not been postmarked. This is the kind of stuff that's going to wind up in the Supreme Court. You know that. Now, they've also got a bit of a problem, shall we say, in Georgia. I mean, in Georgia, they somehow spring a leak in the middle of the night at a building in Georgia, and they suddenly need to shut down the count on the biggest election night in modern history. I mean, seriously, you cannot make this stuff up. A pipe bursts in Georgia, and it stops the count. So here's the deal. We need to make sure that we count every single solitary legal vote in this country, and we need to make sure that those legal votes have been properly counted. We ought to be able to do that, right? Greatest economy on earth, because frankly, we deserve that. We deserve some peace of mind knowing that every single vote matters, as they say, right? All votes matter. Count them. And please stop with the predictions, mainstream media, because until you actually have the real data, you shouldn't be calling races. This is not a time to be first. This is the time to be accurate for the sake of the country. I mean, it's like the mainstream media is out there trying to rush this thing along, and I'm sorry, but you know what? This year is the time to take your time, because we're talking about an extremely close race. And Americans, we deserve accountability. We deserve transparency. We deserve all of it. This is not the time for Chicago-style politics. You know, it's clear to me that this is a very, very close election. I think it's clear to everyone. So why not wait for the votes out of Arizona until every single one is counted? Even local government there says, you know what, no official count should be made until they count all the votes. Why rush this? I mean, you're talking about razor-thin margins, and you're talking about the sanctity of our system, about Americans' trust in the system. That matters. You've got the Trump campaign alleging all kinds of shenanigans, the potential for illegal votes in Pennsylvania, possibly, in Nevada, possibly. So what the heck are Americans supposed to think right now? You know, you got the Michigan post office worker telling Project Veritas that he was supposed to backdate mail-in ballots. Let me share with you the quote on this story. This postal worker is telling Project Veritas, and I quote, separate them, these were his orders, separate them from standard mail so that they can have a stamp on them that says yesterday's date and put them through. That was the order he allegedly received from his boss, and he's telling Project Veritas that. I mean, wow. And then you got the Trump campaign being prevented from witnessing the ballot counting process. What is going on? Can you blame Donald Trump and his supporters then when they start questioning all of this? Not to mention the fact that big media, big tech, big money, I mean, think of all those billions from Bloomberg, for example, bankrolling the Democrats' efforts. What was going on? I mean, combined with the Democrat machinery, people are worried right now. They're really worried that perhaps something bad happened, that people were conspiring together against the President of the United States from the beginning. Consider the whole Russia thing that we all went through, the impeachment over a phone call, and the constant blaming of this president and the politicization, if you would, of a deadly virus. So anyway, the president got up there on Thursday afternoon. He gives a press conference, right? And what do the networks do? As he talks about how this might be a fraudulent process and his concerns and the lawsuits they're filing, what the networks do, they cut away. They wouldn't take his press conference, accusing him effectively of undermining the democratic process. But let me just say, in a democratic process, shouldn't it be our decision as viewers whether or not we are going to watch the president? I mean, it's still a free country after all, right? Isn't it? I mean, that's actually a fair question these days. In an environment of cancel culture and mob rule. Now, all I can say is this is one big hot mess. And states should have been better prepared. I'm ashamed that this is what is going on in our country right now. You should be ashamed too. We all should be demanding the truth. Whatever it is, I can take it. I'm sure you can take it. The president can take it. But let's make sure that all of this is verified. I want you to listen to the podcast. Go to trishintel.com, subscribe. Let's talk about this some more. You can communicate directly with me there. Meanwhile, some real good news. I just want to end on the jobs report today. Boom, 6.9% unemployment. I like that, right? Basically in 5 months, the president was able to do what took years for President Obama to do in terms of unemployment. 600 and nearly 40,000 jobs being added. I think it was 638. Wow. I mean, this is really, really good stuff. That's more than anybody thought. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. I'm not sure how long it's going to last once you get a different team. If you get a different team in there with different policies, it could be more challenging economically. Anyway, again, go to trishintel.com and I'll see you back here tomorrow.